Hello and welcome to the Gothic Unicorn. Today I am back working on my 1/48 scale project, and I'm going to be attempting to add details. Now, whilst I was filming my last video, it occurred to me that the details really are what make miniatures for me. And I really need to put a little bit more effort in to my 1/48 scale to try and get details in, because that's what it's missing for me. With my 1/12 scale, and even to a degree the smaller scale that I'm working in, which isn't quite 1/24th, I can put more detail. I know how to do things. 1/48 scale, I'm struggling. And so I've got to try and think outside the box and find a way of including the extra bits that help to tell a story. So that is what I'm going to be trying to do today. I've got some bits that I have purchased to try and help me with this, so hopefully we can make a start on it. Now, as the title of this video will have given away, I am working on this property, which is The Last Breath Inn by Petite Properties, renamed by me as the Boar's Head. At the moment I've got loose bits inside, which is why I have just pulled out the front panel. The rest of the house is just off camera, and I'm a good part of the way through the inside of the property. I know what I'm doing with my bar and my first floor club room, and then I've got 2 more rooms beyond that. So today I'm going to bring out the bar, which I adapted in a previous video. This is actually a corner shop counter from Petite Properties that I've added an extra section at one end to, and that I added a opening section at the other end. It doesn't open, it's stuck in place, but the idea is that that would open so that the bar staff could get from behind the bar into the main part of the room. And if I'm going to stick this in place, I need to do the bits that are going to go on top of it. So that's what we're going to focus on. I have shown most of the pieces that I've got for the bar in previous videos. I've bought a number of 3D printed pieces, and that's what I'm starting off with. And I've started putting the almost finished pieces onto the bar just to try and get the arrangement that I want. Now, I've got a crate of beer bottles that is going to go somewhere here, so it looks like it hasn't been put away yet. I've got a cash register, old-fashioned type, needs dirtying up a bit, but otherwise it's going to look good. And then I've got my beer pumps. They need their little labels, badges, whatever you call them. So I've obviously put some paint on these. I've got other bits that I've got to paint, and I've printed a few pieces out. I've done a couple of little bar towels. I think they're still possibly a bit small, but they will work, I think. I think they will do at that stage. They're not really going to be seen once it's actually in situ. And I've got some little we call them beer mats in the UK, cardboard coasters that are normally themed by brewery or whatever, something to do with the bar, and I've got some of those to cut out. I may put a couple onto the bar. I may also put a couple onto the tables that are going to be elsewhere in the space. So I'm going to go back to my paintbrush and cutting out really small things, and I'll be back with you shortly. I am going to start by showing you inside my bar, where I have put some glasses and tankards, one of my little towels on the lower shelf, and a small bottle that came as a freebie with my Etsy order. They've been stuck in place. Now there's space on that shelf because I have some more bottles that I want to include, but I'm not sure I'm going to label them or anything yet. So at the moment they are still in a bag. So that's the start. I've started inside there. Now if I move to the upper room, I have actually put a couple more of the tankards and a little pot that was another freebie onto the dresser up there, and I think it's adding a bit of depth. So yeah, I'm liking this. Next we have the bar with everything now stuck in place. I've got my little crate of bottles, I've got my beer pumps with their badges in place, and of course my little towels, which I think are going to work quite well. Now if I pop these back down, I've got the table for upstairs. The jug was a further freebie, and I just thought it looked like it might have been left there. And there's some little beer mats, coasters on there, and likewise with the tables for the bar. That one's got some beer mats on it, and then this one has got some beer mats and a couple of glasses. Now I put a little bit of brown paint at the bottom of the one glass to make it look like there was some kind of dregs in there. I don't know how well that shows up on camera, but it's there and I know it's there, and it just sort of makes it look like there's been somebody in there drinking. So yeah, I'm going to stick the tables into place now, and also the chairs and benches in the first floor room, but I'm not going to stick the bar into place because I've still got those bottles to put on the shelves, but it's coming together. As an aside, while I wait for the glue to dry on the bits that I've stuck inside, I have put my signage into place on the front. Now we had the frame, and there's a back piece that's the same shape as part of the building kit, and I've printed out this little tiny picture of a boar's head. Now what I actually did is I printed it out and then I've coloured the piece so that it looks like the boar's head is white, but actually it's it was all white. I've just coloured the back, and then I've added some grunginess around the outside because it's not going to be particularly clean. I do need to still put a little bit of light paint around the external part of the frame just to sort of make it fit in with the rest of the building, but I think that's going to look quite good, and I actually quite like it. It goes with my boar's head, and yeah, outside is almost done. And here we have the pieces inside the property. I quite like how my club room's coming together. Obviously on this side here I want to put a piano eventually, but for the moment that space will remain empty until I can get what I want. And the bar, which looks like people have just left it, and yeah, I quite like it. The bar isn't stuck into place yet, so I'm having to be very careful with how I manoeuvre this, but it is coming together and I'm quite pleased with it. So onwards, and I'm going to move on to the next room, which is this room up here. And yeah, this is the room that's going to be the room of a lady of ill repute, shall we say. So I'm going to put this down, zoom out, and we'll get on with it. The first piece I'm going to work on for the third room is going to be a bed. I don't know why I decided that I wanted to include a room that was a lady of ill repute. Any other euphemism you might come up with. But it sort of stuck, and so I had to collect the bits that would be needed. And I've decided to go with this Edwardian double bed. I like the look of it, and I think it would be appropriate. Now, I always think of Edwardian furniture as being a bit lighter than Victorian stuff, and so I've gone for a lighter colour than for most of the woodwork in this piece. And the colour is actually an alcohol marker called Hazel Wood, and I quite like this. I think it's going to contrast nicely with everything else. So I'm going to start putting this together, and I'm just going to put my instructions off camera. So I need to take the base of my bed and I need to apply some glue to each end. As always, this is a Petite Properties kit, and as long as you read the instructions through before you start gluing pieces down, I don't think you can go wrong. Their instructions are really clear, and yeah, that's why I keep going back to them. So I need to attach both the headboard, which is this piece here, and the footboard, which is this shorter piece here. And I need to ensure that they stay at right angles while they dry. So if I put it like that, that's standing straight. I think that's standing straight. And I'm going to get another one of my handy dandy toothpicks, and I'm going to clear up any extra glue, mostly because I don't want it getting in the way. Now I say I don't want it getting in the way because that's going to be covered up with the mattress in due course. So yeah, and that is as simple or as difficult as making the bed frame is. There are 3 more pieces here that you can see that need adding. This piece I need to add a bit of glue to the back of, like so. It's not the easiest. None of the bits I'm working with this week are easy because they're all small, and that is just going to cover up that little slot in the bed there and provide a little bit of detail. Now for the next 2 pieces, I need to put glue along there. And apply the trim. Now I am just going to whip that bit away there and make sure that stays down. That little end bit is sticking up a bit, so I may need to insert a little bit more glue in a few moments. And here we have, in a very short space of time, a very basic bed, well, bed frame. As I say, I've got a mattress to stick into place, which is a piece of MDF. I'm going to cover this before I put it into place, and I'm now going to give this a little while to dry off before I cover and stick the mattress into place. I completed the mattress by covering it with some fabric. This is just some fabric from an old t-shirt. You could obviously make it look like a mattress and then cover it with something else to look like a sheet, but I've just covered it to make it look like it's got a sheet on it. And then I made some pillows, which I used some scraps of the kind of mount board that is used for the furniture, with a little bit of cotton wool, a cotton ball, bit of that, stuck on and then covered with more of the same t-shirt material that I then glued shut. I actually made it bigger than I wanted and then trimmed it once I'd glued it, and I stuck them to the bed, made them look a little bit dishevelled. You could obviously, if you really wanted, put indents in it so it looks like somebody's been lying on the pillow, but I'm quite happy with how it's come out. Now I've made my covers. I've used a little piece of this velvety material because I think it'll look good in the room. And all I did is I've gone around the outside of it with some of my glue, let that dry, and then I've cut it out to size. And I realise that side isn't particularly even, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to show once it's on the bed. And I'll actually stick that onto the bed and then I'll crumple it up and stuff and glue it into place. And this is actually gluing pretty well with my favoured glue. And then I can have a bed that's ready to go into the building. So yeah, it's not difficult. If you wanted to make a bed that looked like it was made and I got a bit of sheet turned over, all nicely made and everything, what you would do is you would cut a piece of your sheeting material and actually glue that underneath, so it was just a band over the top, and then put it in place. But I don't exactly make nice neat beds, especially not in this scale. I want it to look a bit yeah, dishevelled. That's the word I want, dishevelled. It is with the throw cover, whatever you want to call it, in place. I'm hoping that by using a heavier weight fabric, it will look like there are more covers there, all rumpled up and everything, because it's pretty difficult to get a good effect in miniature, especially this smaller scale. So hopefully a little bit of smoke and mirrors and it will work. Now I've got lots of other pieces to build for this room, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do next, but the bed's complete, it's ready to go in. It can't be glued in because the other things have got to go in around it. Some stuff's got to go behind it. Yeah, now I'm not sure how I'm going to, or even if I'm going to show my intent as to who uses this room. But if you understand what a spoonerism is, hopefully now the name of the public house will become a bit more obvious. That is a case of if you know, you know. But I like it, and I think it's going to work. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe. Maybe even ring that notification bell in the hope that YouTube will tell you when I put up another video. Can't guarantee anything there though. Really can't. And just a little, a little bit of advice for anybody, anywhere online. If you've got nothing nice to say, keep it to yourself. Your two-bit cruel comments don't do anybody any favours, and they just make you, a grown adult, look like a bully. So, yeah. Till next time, bye.